Hello and welcome to the SOMlink service interface video. The service interface SOMlink is a service tool for adjusting and viewing parameters, settings of the drive by the technician. The construction is there is an integrated Wi-Fi module and there is an integrated web server. So what you need additional is a smartphone, tablet, notebook. They all got built-in Wi-Fi connection. You log on with the Wi-Fi connection to the SOMlink. That's the first step. And then the SOMlink will communicate with the operator via SOMlog2 with the bidirectional radio system of SOMMER with the operator. So all the new operators like Pro Plus, Twist UG, Twist AM, the TIGA and the TIGA Plus PCB, you can log on with the SOMlink and do some setups, some changes. So yeah, let's come to the functions. What's all possible? There are changes, of course, possible. Changes of the parameter like the speed, the sensitivity, partitional opening, the auto closing time is adjustable. But it's also diagnosis help. So there is a long-term event memory where there is stored every function what has been in the past, and the technician can read out and see what was going on the past. But it's also possible to have a data backup with this system. So the data, what's on the operator, you can download to the SOMlink first, and from the SOMlink to your laptop, and then analyze it in the office later on. It's help during installation. So, for example, the radio system is much more easy to program, like manually. If you have more transmitter, it will help you. So, how is the connection working? You need to plug in the SOMlink to a power supply. There is an adapter for 230 voltage included. But by the way, it's a USB jack, so it's 5 volt DC, some milliamps. You could also use a power bank or connect with a cable to your laptop. Then you need to activate your smartphone, and you go to the settings of Wi-Fi, and then you will see the SOMlink. On the back side of the SOMlink, all the data is written, so you see the name of the SOMlink, and then it will ask you for a password. This you will also find off the back side. You enter it and you join this network. And then one of the two LEDs on the front of the SOMlink should change to green. That means that you have successfully now logged on or connected your smartphone to the SOMlink. That's the first step. And then the next step is you open any internet browser, so Google Chrome, whatever you got on your smartphone. You have to enter this address. This you find also on the backside of SOMlink. Maybe you save it to your favorites, then for the next time it's more easy to find it. And then you open the address, and then you will see this page. This is the start page. And here you can see you can choose garage door operator, swing gate, it's gray, sliding gate operator will come, industrial door operator will come, so more and more new operator will have the function with the SOMlink. And then you choose the operator. So here in the example, we go for the garage door operator. You say connect operator. Next is you say search for operator. And then there is a search running for approximately 15 seconds. And during this time, you should push the radio button on the carriage. Or alternative, you could use the transmitter if you have one. Press 6 seconds the push button on the transmitter, on a coded in transmitter, and then you will have the serial number of the radio system. It appears here in your smartphone, and then you have to say connect. So now both LEDs should be green, and this means you are successfully now wireless connected via your smartphone, via the SOMlink to the operator. Now we are ready for different setups. So I will show you what's all possible. There are two different options you need to know. Partitionally, it's possible to do changes actively, so you could change anything like the speed of the operator, or on some positions it's just possible to view values. There is always a text written, what you can do, what's the minimum, what's the maximum value, what you could set. So it's pretty easy to handle. By the way, there is a demo version available on our homepage. This is the address where you can have a look to this system. It's a demo version where you can see by your own, you can play with the parameters and have a look how it's built up. Let's come to a summary. So the SOMlink is a service tool for technicians. It's not for end customer, it's for technicians. You need to know what you do. You can check, change, and save data. It's usable everywhere, including the building site, because there is no internet connection necessary. The operator with SOMlog 2 radio system is required. So, like I mentioned, Pro Plus, garage door operator, Twist UG, Twist AM, swing gate operator. Now the new barrier will be also possible to operate with the SOMlink, some setups. And no manual is needed, so the help text is visible at any situation on the display. By the way, meanwhile, we got 15 languages, and it's working like this. It's when you log on the system, the SOMlink is checking the language on your smartphone. So if your language on the smartphone is available, it will switch automatically to your language. If it's not available, English will be the standard language. It's usable with a smartphone, with a tablet, notebook, or PC. So whatever you got, you could use to connect it. Only Wi-Fi adapter and a web browser is required. No app or software installation necessary at the device. So I think this is also important point. I mean, you will find on the SOMMER homepage an app, but this app is just to help you to get a connection. So let's say if you know how to set up the Wi-Fi connections, you can do it by yourself. Okay, let's come to the commissioning. The commissioning is the first point. Because when you install the operator, there are several possibilities. So you can program the safety devices, you can teach force values, you can set the travel lengths, you can do a factory reset if necessary. You could teach the radio, so here it's possible to choose which channel you want to code in. And you could delete, of course, also radio system. So you could delete a single transmitter, or you could delete the whole radio system, all of the transmitter, and start again coding in. And it's also possible to lock the radio. I think this is a good feature for collective garage, where you don't want somebody deleting the transmitter or coding in by themselves any new transmitter. So where you want to have the control about who got access to this garage or who don't. Next is the settings. So at the settings, there are a lot of possibilities to set up. So for example, partitional opening. You can set up here the travel length exactly. So I want partitional opening of 0.5 meter exactly. So you can type in 500 millimeter and then it will run 0.5 meter. The closing function, so closing force, back jump, these points you can adjust over here. Ventilation function is next, so if you got a sensor locked on, then you could set here the distance, the ventilation time, or you could even test the sensor. So you go on test and then it will open the garage to this point where it will usually open for the ventilation. You can see is it too much or is it too less and adjust it. Lighting, so here is possible to set up the LED. You know, in the carriage we got LEDs, so for open and close it's separate. To set up the time in standard it's 3 minutes, by the way. So for some end customer this is too long or too short, so you can set up it here. If there is a motion sensor connected or a wicket door sensor, even that time is separate to set for the light. So how long should be the light on if the motion sensor detects. Yeah, you will see a lot of possibilities for the light function. The speed, here you can adjust the speed for open and close separately, but you need to know the operator always tries when you do the installation, when it's teached in, to run as fast as possible. So yeah, there will be not much more speed to adjust. The sensitivity is also possible to adjust here. So there is a tolerance of the force detection. So how sensitive should be the operator. If you need more sensitivity or less, you could adjust it on this step. Next is early warning time. So if you have a warning light connected, for example, and you want to have a pre-warning before the operator starts, you can set up here the time. Also separate for door open, for door close, or both direction. However, if there is a warn buzzer, alarm buzzer connected, or a laser connected, there are several setups at this position possible. Automatic closing, yeah, here you can set up if you want to have fully or semi-automatic closing. You could even set the function from the position partitional opening to have an automatic closing. Of course, you can set the time, so after which time the operator should close the door. Reaction control command, so what should be the reaction if the travel direction continue travel, direction close. So several reaction of the control command is possible to set up over here. Twin mode, that's a special function. Maybe I need to explain a little bit more. You have one control unit, like the Pro Plus, for example, so one transformer, and you could operate 2 carriages. So if you have 2 garages next to, this is a good solution to save money, because you need just one control unit, one transformer, and you have a master-slave system. You have to set up it here. It's a twin mode system. Only thing what you need to know, it's not possible to operate both motors at the same time. So always one door is operating, it's opening, and when it's open, then the second door you can open or close this one. Next point is the twin mode, the service. The service, here it's settable service interval. So for example, after some cycles or after days, you can set this, and the light on the carriage will flash and show the customer, okay, service necessary. Yeah, maybe here after 5,000 cycles, it's possible to set up this for collective garage. Impulse soft run, so here you can change the soft run speed in open and in close separately. Wall station, if there is a wall station connected, you can choose several functions, what you wish. Next point is calibration. So after the installation, usually you do a measuring of the closing force with instrument, and you should be below 400 Newton. This is the rule. And if you are maybe above 400 Newton, you could enter the Newton over here, maybe 430 Newton, and the milliseconds, the reaction time. And then the operator, the next is you enter the measuring point, and then you save the data. That's always important to go on save, because just then the data will be sent to the operator, and then the operator recalculates the values and tries by itself. So for example, by reducing the speed to get below the 400 Newton. Next point is the data management. So in the data management, you can save data from the carriage to the SOMlink. So like I mentioned, all the data what's on the carriage, you can download first to the SOMlink, and you could also delete the data of the on the SOMlink. I mean, the store is pretty big on the SOMlink, but once it will be full, so it will be necessary to delete to get some space. But it's also possible to load files. So download the files from SOMlink to the PC, to your notebook, for example, or upload the data from SOMlink or the carriage. This you can do on the point load the file. Next point is information. So like you see info, this is all points where you can read out data, nothing you can change. Of course, you cannot change the commissioning date and the cycles. This will be all written by the operator. You can just read it out, this information. You can read out the dip switches, so on the carriage, which one is off, which one is on. You know, there are 4 dip switches on the carriage. Cycle destiny. So here you got a table, and in this table it tells you on which day, in what hour there are the most cycles. So this is pretty helpful for collective garage. Maybe you see here in the morning and in the evening when there is rush hour, where are the most cycles, and yeah, maybe then you can change something by keep the open holding open time longer, or something like this. Event history. So here you could read out the last 50 events. They are stored. So all the commands, like radio commands, you can read out. Operator, for example, was started by push button 1 from the transmitter, and it's overwriting, so you always got the newest events over here. The old events will be overwritten. There is a long-term event history as well available. So here, for example, if somebody changed the dip switches, it will be locked on here, so you can see this over here. The last 40 events are stored at this position over here. Next is force paths open and force paths closed. So here you can view yourself the force path. So how is it looking, on which point of the door does the operator need more force or less force? You can view this in a graphic on the display of your smartphone. Next point is the motor temperature, so you can see the actual current motor temperature. The current position, the travel length is possible to read here. So where does the motor in a moment has the position, on which position. You can read out what safety devices are connected. So it shows you if there is a photocell connected, or if there is safety edge connected, or both. So you can see this over here. Next step is the radio unit. So it shows you all the transmitter, including the serial number and the program function. So you know, on the back side of the transmitter there is a serial number, and this is just once. Every transmitter got its own one, and so you know exactly which transmitter is coded in here. You can check it. You see all what's in the radio system. The next is the version, so you can see which firmware of the operator and the SOMlink you have got. Yeah, And that's mainly the points. We come now to a summary. Um, Once more, the SOMlink is helpful while commissioning. So when you commissioning the operator, it could be more easy with the SOMlink. Many possibilities for fine-tuning, for example, changing time for the automatic closing. It's very helpful for calibration of the operator. Data management is possible. You get a lot of information like the cycles, event history. This is helpful sometimes. And locking of the radio is just possible with a SOMlink. I think this is very useful in public garages, or if you have collective garages, just to avoid any customer who coding in them transmitter by themselves, and then you lost the control who got the access to this garage, or who don't have the access. Okay, so we are at the end. I say thank you for listening, and I suggest have a try. Buy one SOMlink and have a try by yourself. Bye.